Welcome back to CognitionChunks. Yellowstone Day 7 Part 4. Old Faithful Inn. And an Old Faithful Night Eruption. The Old Faithful Inn in Yellowstone National Park is a quintessential example of the National Park Service rustic style, also colloquially known as parkitecture. This architectural style is characterized by its use of natural materials, such as stone and wood, and its harmonious integration with the surrounding landscape. The objective is to create buildings that appear to be a part of the natural environment rather than imposing upon it. The design philosophy emphasizes rustic elegance, comfort, and environmental stewardship. Architectural style and construction. Materials. The inn is constructed primarily from local logs and stone. The use of these indigenous materials helps to root the building in its specific context and minimizes the environmental impact of transporting construction materials over long distances. Design. The design of the building is intentionally irregular, with an asymmetrical layout that includes multiple levels and wings which give it a spontaneous, evolved-over-time feeling. Craftsmanship. There is a high level of craftsmanship in the details, with handcrafted woodwork and wrought iron detailing that adds to the rustic charm of the building. Integration with the environment. Large windows and expansive verandas offer sweeping views of the park, encouraging visitors to engage with the natural beauty outside. The building's silhouette mimics the surrounding pine trees and geyser basins, blending into the landscape rather than dominating it. The Crow's Nest. One of the most distinctive features of the Old Faithful Inn is its crow's nest. This feature is part of the inn's towering lobby, a 4-story log structure that was once accessible to guests. Structure. The crow's nest is a small, log-framed lookout perched high within the gabled roof of the inn's lobby. It is accessed by a series of steep, almost ladder-like stairs leading up from the top floor. Purpose. Originally, the crow's nest was used by musicians to play evening serenades for the guests in the lobby below. Its elevated position allowed the music to drift down and fill the space, adding to the atmospheric experience of the inn. Design. True to the National Park Service rustic style, the crow's nest is crafted with the same natural materials as the rest of the building, featuring gnarled logs and railings that resemble tree branches. Current status. For safety reasons, the crow's nest and the staircase leading to it are no longer open to the public. It remains an iconic aspect of the inn's architecture and is a testament to the early 20th century vision of creating an immersive natural experience for visitors. Cultural significance. The Old Faithful Inn and its unique features like the crow's nest have had a significant impact on the design of park buildings across the United States. This style has influenced the construction of visitor centers, lodges, and related facilities in national parks nationwide. The Old Faithful Inn, particularly with its crow's nest, embodies a philosophy of architecture that is deeply respectful of the natural world, prioritizes the visitor experience, and showcases craftsmanship and materials that speak to the identity of the national parks. It's a landmark example of how built environments can complement their natural settings, enhancing rather than detracting from the intrinsic value of the landscape. The construction of the Old Faithful Inn began in 1903 and opened in 1904. Yellowstone's isolated location meant transporting materials and workers to the site was difficult. The nearest railhead was over 60 miles away, and the rest of the journey had to be completed by horse-drawn wagons on rough roads. The severe weather conditions of the region, including heavy snowfall and extremely cold temperatures, limited the construction season primarily to the short summer months. This required efficient planning to ensure materials and labor were optimally utilized during this window. Much of the material used in the construction was sourced locally to circumvent the difficulties of transporting from afar. This included lodgepole pines for the logs and local stone for the fireplace and chimneys. The use of local materials not only solved transportation issues but also helped the building blend with its natural surroundings. The inn was constructed on a base of heaving, frozen ground. To ensure stability, a system of floating concrete foundations was developed, which allowed the structure to adjust to the ground movement without sustaining damage. Architect Robert Reamer's design was innovative and complex, featuring a multi-story log structure that was largely unprecedented at that time. This required skilled craftspeople and a dedicated workforce familiar with techniques not commonly used in standard construction. Thank you for joining us for another CognitionChunks episode. Please like and subscribe.